Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. Did you know that last year, 340,000 pounds of marijuana were seized at the border between the United States and Mexico? That 56,000 pounds of cocaine was seized at the border of the United States and Mexico. Not only drugs, but 487,000 individuals were denied access or apprehended trying to get into the United States illegally. I have come today not with a political agenda. I have come today with the most genuine message. I have come today to talk about our nation's southern border security. I spent 3 months on the ground working for the CBP, the Customs and Border Patrol. During this time, I gained firsthand knowledge of what is really happening on our border. During this assignment, I was in a small border town named Nogales. It's in Arizona. During my time there, I learned a lot, much more than the media lets you believe. I was assigned as a network engineer to a team responsible for upgrading the current security system for the Customs and Border Patrol. The area that we were working was about a 15-mile area with an existing fence about 12 foot tall. This was in the heart of Nogales. We had access to cameras that could see definition at 5 to 6 miles. You could also see over the border. During this time, I gained firsthand knowledge of what is really happening on the border. At the time, I was directed not to discuss what happened while I was there to civilians outside the Customs and Border Patrol for national security reasons. So I redacted myself and will speak no names or addresses, nor will I tell specifics of my sources within the CBP. All the other data I use is freely available on the internet, and the anecdotes are my own encounters. Most of the pictures are my own as well. My job for a good portion of the time, I was there to monitor the video feed from the cameras for network problems. So I spent at least 12 weeks watching cameras that were pointed at the U.S.-Mexico border. This picture up here, you can see my cameras. And just over the border, you can see 3 gentlemen in broad daylight that were suspected fence jumpers. What I saw was amazing. It was disheartening, and it was downright scary. One afternoon in broad daylight, we witnessed one gentleman across the border approach the fence with a 15-foot tall ladder. He laid that ladder across the fence and then disappeared. 15 to 20 minutes later, we noticed 4 other gentlemen carrying backpacks approaching the wall. They scaled the wall, jumped over the fence, and headed into the United States. Within 30 minutes, we had apprehended 3 of the men. We found that each backpack had 100 pounds of marijuana in it. So during that little excursion, that half an hour, that 45 minutes, 100 pounds of marijuana made it past our security into the United States. Talking with the agents who patrol the border on a daily basis, they insist this is par for the day. The number of drugs flowing over the border is enormous. Depending on the payload, the drug cartels send armed men across the border to flank the drug mules. Typically, drug mules are accompanied by groups of families, mothers and children who don't even know what is truly happening. In this picture up here, you can see we have Border Patrol trucks. This is night vision. Border Patrol trucks watching the fence. 2 fence jumpers rolling across the ground to avoid detection. When you sit at a desk in the Nogales knock, there is one monitor up on the wall. It's a constant video feed. It's a 10 by 20 room somewhere in a building on the Nogales border with a camera. There's shelves all around the walls. On Monday morning when you come into work, the shelves are empty. By Friday, they're full. They're full of contraband, drugs, guns, all seized from people trying to cross the border in that 15-mile area. Just 15 miles. There are 1,972 miles of American-Mexican border. Almost all of the border is unprotected with a wall or a fence. The numbers speak for themselves. In 2017, we apprehended over 300,000 crossing the southern border. Out of those 300,000, 175,000 weren't even Mexican. They were Chinese. They were Asian. They were Middle Eastern. They were South American. They were African. That's barely half of the total illegal border crossers caught according to Homeland Security. We only catch about 54% of them. Not only is it the illegal immigrants, it's nearly all the illegal drugs shipped to the United States is from Mexico. 99.8% to be precise. Methamphetamines, powdered cocaine, marijuana, crack cocaine, heroin, oxycodone. In the city of Nogales, Sonora, violence has increased in recent years due to drug cartels fighting it out for access to the best routes in the United States. As we shut them down, they try to open them up. The main concern does not lie completely with illegal immigrants, but in the number of drugs. There's 6 main drugs crossing the border illegally. Those drug cartels send $64 billion worth of drugs to the U.S. annually. $64 billion. Out of those $64 billion, they net, as cartels, $29 billion that go back over across the border to the cartels. Drugs alone. $29 billion. The total amount of drugs coming into the country is immeasurable. At a 5 to 10% apprehension rate, the number of drugs attempting to be smuggled into the U.S. could be upwards of over $170 billion a year. During 2017, over 490,000 unauthorized attempts at entering the U.S. at 54% apprehension rate. That's estimated at 1 million people trying to enter the U.S. illegally. As an American citizen, it's not all about the illegal immigrants, but the drugs and the gangs flowing into our country. It's time to do something about the security of our southern border. For the sake of you, your family, your friends, your neighborhood, your country, I implore you, contact your local representatives and let them know you want this to stop. Thank you.